Hey guys, it's Winnie and Adrian here, and we're going to share with you our top 10 storage hacks, items, paraphernalia.
Ideas?
Ideas.
I think the important part to remember from this video is the more stuff you can keep off the floor and organize, the less your wife will notice you have, right, honey?
Yep, that's definitely true. Let's see how many different places we have to store barbells in this whole gym.
All right, we're gonna start this off with a cool countdown. I'll give you the voice. Number 10, magnetic storage hooks.
Surprisingly good.
I'm not gonna remember to do that, so that's the only time you're gonna get that. Got these off Amazon. They are magnetic storage hooks.
Who would have thought?
They're pretty cheap. We have, I don't want to say a dozen of them, but they come in different shapes and sizes. So as you look around the gym, you'll see different places we are using them to hold our megalith handles and just all kinds of stuff. It also makes this the only time my Rogue shrouds have been useful. I mean, they look cool, and that's probably the only thing that matters, but I store all kinds of things on them. You can see my Rogue D handles and the triangle grip.
Yes, and then we also have this small item that's also magnetic, and this is from an indie horse stall mat operation. I don't know what they are.
Stop.
But this is Massonomics drink spotter, which is surprisingly useful in the gym.
We have multiple of these.
Yes.
Oddly enough, you will see those as you go around the gym. But just magnetic items in general and things that you might not necessarily think are marketed for home gyms. This is also off Amazon. I guess we'll put these links in the descriptions. But it's supposed to be for your laundry, washing machine, dryer. Yeah. Clearly, I'm the man doing all the household chores.
Yes, you got it.
But there has different sizes. Again, there's actually a few of them on our Aries. So maybe that means it is time to move on to number 9. I'm not sure what to call it.
We're on the second item and you already ran out of names?
I don't know. I'm trying my best here.
Well, for this portion, we're going to talk about all the storage we have on our 3x3 1-inch racks. And so this is where we get to the part where it's not technically a 10 item list. It's more of a 10 concepts.
It's probably like 30 plus items.
Yeah, so all of these storage items can probably be found on other sized racks, but this is what we have, so that's what we're going to show you.
And that's actually a good example. Can you grab the So over here, we talked about the magnetic basket. It holds all kinds of hooks. Can you give me the Bells of Steel hook on it?
Which one?
It's the cheap looking one. I got it.
Okay. They are all black hooks.
They are all black hooks. This section's actually about the utility hook, which is my favorite, but you'll see she just mentioned these can go on other racks. We do 3x3 1-inch racks because we review gym equipment, so we have to have the latest and greatest, and that's always 1 inch first. So put it on a 5/8, put on whatever. These are Bells of Steel's utility hooks.
That's the other cheapest.
These are from Stray Dog, and it's the same concept, but I like the utility hooks from Dean from Black Widow. That's here holding this stuff, and then our Rep X Clava. You just bolt them onto your 5/8 or 1-inch rack. You can see both ideas there, or whatever rack you have, and you can store stuff. So as you go around, you'll see all kinds of things on here. And actually, this isn't even 3x3. These are just cheap hooks I got off Amazon that I hook into my shelves in the back. But I put all kinds of attachments on them. It's just little things like this, super cheap, and you can get more stuff and put it somewhere.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of 1-inch holes, we even have our landmine on the dumbbell storage because this is 3x3 1-inch as well.
This is the Clever Built landmine. It goes on our Irwin rack. If you have an ecosystem that makes sense, you can just keep building off it. It's not what you want and need today. We're Americans, so we're gonna buy more, right? And you don't want to limit yourself.
Yeah, and so these are the shackles from Rogue. And so that's another example. That's a different company, but it obviously fits on our rep rack.
And this, again, 3x3, it's not mounted yet. These come with the Twin Stack and Rogue's cable systems. They send you these. So I'm going to mount them and put all kinds of stuff on them.
Those are the monster strips, right?
The monster strips, yep. And even, you'll see, we're coming back to this rack a few times, but back here's my Darko thresher pad, just stored on some, I'm doing...
Dude.
So this is just a thresher pad. It goes on spotter arms, kind of like a seal rope pad, right? But I just store it on my rack. Just put it on the rack. Everything's in the same ecosystem. The mag pins are getting stuck to each other.
Oh, they're magnetic. Yeah. That would make sense.
So that's just kind of the idea of if you get stuff like this, you can put whatever you want, wherever you want. Yeah. And actually, we're really organized. On my Rogue rack, we have our surplus strength spotter arms, our surplus strength leg rollers, different J-cups. They just sit on a cross member back here. You can see right here. Here's some Rogue monster pins for that rack. I just use them over here.
So there is a method to the madness that are these racks. But let's move on to another item that we hold near and dear to our hearts, and that's barbell storage.
So does that mean I don't have to use the voice?
Use the voice.
Oh, wow. Okay. Number 8, barbell storage off your rack.
That's a good caveat. So we'll start with this Butte, and so this is the stable from Bridge Build. This is a very well made, but maybe expensive and not super practical for the average home gym owner.
People.
It holds 12 bars, and
it rolls.
Hold up. We already hit the ceiling once today. So ignore that. But so this is very cool, very well made. But let's look at other, maybe more practical items that we use to store our barbells. Like this Rogue Monster panel that I actually don't love. This was on our 11-post monstrosity rack. And it's just not really modular for something that's supposed to be modular. So you sort of just get stuck in this expensive pegboard.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a pegboard, but it's just like with the taper and Rogue's like basket and other stuff. It ends up being really not that great for the money. So I would probably look at more practical solutions, whether that's something like these are from 1211, but lots of companies, they went out of business, unfortunately. Lots of companies make this. We used to, and we still do, we'd mount bars to our walls with these. Or if you want to do the gun rack style, we have a whole wall of bars, like 12 bars on it. Not these 12.
We can go show them.
Nope, it's not very organized back there.
We may have just thrown everything back there for the video.
We're gonna keep it in the front. But this is a 3-bar gun rack that actually cut. You can see I never ground it down. This one's from Rogue. And I cut it down and I put my kabuki bars on them, and then you can get them to 3 bars or 6 bars, and it's just horizontal storage. You mount them to a wall or something like this can go on your rack. You'll see we'll come back to this idea, but just much less expensive. So when you keep, when your collection gets a little larger than normal, you have a place to nicely put your bars.
Another realistic option we have to store your barbells is, voice please.
What number is this, 7?
7.
Number 7, the Bells of Steel Hydra Weight Tree.
So this is a super cool option, and we have it set up this way, but when you order it, you can build it how you want. So Adrian, in his all-knowing glory, put 8 bar holders on it, which is a very reasonable amount of bar holders for the amount of storage we already have for bars.
If you can store it, you can keep it.
Yeah. And then, so this is another example of its modularity. This is actually for the Hydra rack. And if you put an adapter on it, you can put this right here, put your clips on it, whatever you
Yeah, you can put it on a
feel
1-inch
the
rack
need.
with some washers or whatever. That's how we used to have it until we pulled it off for this video. But like she said, it's modular, so you build it how you want, and that's kind of the appeal of a 3x3 system. Maybe you have less bars than me because you're some kind of weirdo. You don't need all these. You don't want these big weight horns, because you're not storing vintage plates or whatever for grip strength. I don't know how you built your gym. It's not important how I built my gym. It's what works for you. And this, to us, there's a lot of weight trees out there. This is one of the cooler ones that I've been able to build.
Yes. And speaking of weight horns, look at this super easy segue into
Number 6, really cool weight horn storage.
Yeah, and if you ever want to fear for your life walking around your gym, just attach some vintage plates above you.
No, these are gonna get replaced with some from Black Widow. That'll work better. They're capped off and angled.
And
they haven't fallen yet. Everybody's still alive.
And these are on a manufactured beam, so we're not putting them on drywall.
Yeah.
It still makes it a little scary to look at.
Are you tripping as you walk backwards?
Of course not.
So when it comes to weight horns, there's lots of options. Really, you can just buy the cheapest one. We like these monster storage pins from Rogue because they're really sleek with the pin.
And we're spoiled, to be clear.
We're in debt.
Yeah.
But there's cooler options like these from Sorinex. Lots of companies have ripped off this idea. I believe Sorinex was first, but here I have too much stuff, the right amount of stuff on my rack. Be good, Aries. But this allows me to store more stuff in the same amount of space. And as Winnie mentioned with that nice safety disclaimer, we've put these for all types of, here's my clips on them. If you walk around the gym, you'll see it all over the place. We put our bumpers on them, on the beams, on the wall. It's just, if you have it, there's different ways to use it. And I think, these are kind of like an underrated storage system, especially things like the Sorinex. There are ones like Stray Dog and Bells of Steel with the 3rd horn. It doesn't really matter where you're getting them from, but really cool ideas.
And quickly, before we move on, I've been made fun of relentlessly for calling these weight chips. Please comment below if you also call these weight chips or if I made that up.
Nobody calls them that.
Yes. But while we're over here, let's talk about another super cool storage option we have.
Number 5, on-rack barbell storage, featuring Darko.
Yeah, so this is actually one of my favorite storage items we have, and this is the anchor. I would say it was my favorite if I was able to reach it without standing on the bench.
Get your wife a rack she can reach.
Yes.
But he also, so this, there's the anchor and the double anchor. There's different options, a way to do this. It's just, we throw our bars up there, the Mars bar, whatever, safety squat bars, they sit up here really well.
And he does really cool customizations. So if this is boring to you, look out of sight.
But he also has the dock. This goes off the front of your rack. We took it off when we were building these racks because it's kind of in the way of the cables. But at some point, this will come back on here. You would have seen this on a road rack for a long time. Mm-hmm. That's another cool one. If you've watched our videos for a long time, you've probably seen Rogue's 3-bar gun rack, whatever they call this thing. I'll just put a link up right now. It, again, just goes on your rack. It's actually made for Rogue's racks with the keyholes in here, but it does actually fit on reps. It's never fallen and I've never died. So you'll see that in a lot of the backgrounds of our videos when we hold up bars, when we're talking about barbells. That's a pretty cool system.
Yes. And then we actually have our most commonly used barbell storage, and that's like this cup that is from some unknown.
I have no idea who makes it. It could be Bell's, Rep. It could be literally
Keep
anybody.
naming companies. Let's figure it out.
Titan Fitness. I don't know who makes it, but it just holds barbells in the back of your rack. So again, 3x3, right? It fits within the ecosystem. So another option of where to put things.
Moving us on to
number 4, 3D printed equipment, because this video is getting really expensive.
Yes, 3D printed items are a super cool way to add new and unique storage to your gym. This skull is a chalk bowl.
So it's, again, magnets, tying into number 10, or the first one. We found this one off Etsy. One of our patrons, we're in our Patreon Discord asking, we were looking for some items. I wanted a different chalk bowl, and somebody found this for me, so I bought it off Etsy. Super cool. Join our Patreon so you can chat on the Discord. Very nice group of people there. But we've got our...
This is an OG. Our first Patreons got these.
That was like our first giveaway ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yes.
So this is just a 3D printed wedge, but these come from Dr. Tatty Waffles. I'll put his Instagram so you can find it.
Nice.
He 3D printed these for us. They hold our lever belts. There's one on that dumbbell stand behind Winnie. He makes different versions of these. So there's wall mounted and rack mounted. It's 3D printed, right? So you can put this on anything. He just got these little pop pins that go into a 1-inch rack, and he put our logo on them. And even like companies like Bells of Steel, where are the 3D printed? There you go. Hey. 3D printed collars. These work decently for what they are. Find this file online. It's basically free, or buy it from Bells of Steel, I guess.
Yes.
For that one, or they have that system that goes above your rack to put even more barbells. Mm-hmm. It's just, if you have a 3D printer, you can make any solution pretty much work for you.
Yeah, and so we've been talking a lot of modular. Let's talk hyper specific. So some companies have super interesting ways to store their own items, like
number 3, specialized storage solutions.
Very nice.
Thank you. So this is Prime Fitness's wall storage, one of their solutions for the Prime Shorty Bench. There are more attachments to this that my wife doesn't realize I have.
What?
But that's a really cool bench. It's very versatile, but that means there's a lot of parts to it. Think of like Iron Masters, another company that's got some cool solutions. So that's their head pad, right? It just clips right on there. Their dumbbell cradle, their preacher curl pad, pretty much mandatory because it's curling. But you can see it's a very elegant, simple, well thought out solution. And it's nice when you buy a product and there's something for you rather than just throwing everything on the ground.
Freak athlete.
So I mean, that's fair. We like the Hyper Pro, but some of those attachments are kind of tacked on. There's no real great storage solution. Think of like the Bulletproof Isolator. Another one, hard to store, but Larry came out with solutions to put all that stuff. The Hyper Pro, the leg developer, and their upper body kit, it just kind of, you could throw it up on a shelf, but it probably is going to end up on the floor. My wife's going to trip on it, and then I'm going to get yelled at.
Yes, but one of my favorite companies with their storage solutions is PRX. They have that folding rack, and they have a bunch of other really unique storage solutions for that specific ecosystem. But let's go back to 3x3 for just a minute and talk about this bad boy.
Number 2, in direct contrast to the last item, multi-purpose storage solutions.
He just likes doing the voice.
I couldn't think of the title there. All right, so you've seen our videos before. You probably are familiar with Black Widow. We did a manufacturing video, and Winnie actually went through and built one of these.
I made this.
Maybe not this one. Really cool video. She welded, grinded, did everything, powder coating to make one of these. This is the Black Widow storage cart, not to be confused with the original storage cart. It has multiple versions of this. The original one, actually, the weapons go on this. Can you remove those?
No.
It's 120-pound weapons. Are they blocked in? Yeah. So the weapons go on this. I did not bolt this down. This is a universal shelf. The original one bolted. This one, you could put power blocks, Nuabels, maybe not Nuabels, anybody else in there. It's just to show you it's got more options than just a hyper-specific thing like that.
And it's 3x3. So you can see we have our hooks again. We have our drink spotter, of course. How many drink spotters can be in one video? We have our what's this? Our dip bar from,
attachment.
Yeah. And so that's stored right here.
It's got wheels on it. I can roll it around. The bench sits in it. It does a lot of stuff in a small space, and it's 3x3. So if you don't want this vertical upright we wanted, you can change it or do whatever you want with it.
Is it time?
I guess. Time for what?
You know what? The number one item. Let's go!
That was a lot, but number one, wall control metal pegboard.
Heck yeah.
Doesn't even have to be from Wall Control. Other companies make this. This is just our favorite option.
Yeah, and this is all we have from Wall Control,
This
right?
is all we have. Perfect. So,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Moving on.
There may be some in the back, but if you look over here, you'll see I've got...
All right. Moving on.
We will get in there in a second. But to show, again, the idea of modularity, other pegboard attachments will fit. Notice here my megalith handles, they're just sitting on the magnetic hooks. There's the basket again, the deadlift wedge, and then, of course, you know, hyper-specific wall control hooks. But I guess we can show you in the storage room.
Crowning achievement of storage ever. So this is what happens when you let your husband buy too many items.
It's not too much if you still have space. Look at this little...
Wow, lots of space.
Just right there.
So the thing I love about Wall Control personally is that all these hooks are movable. So you can put them and store them in different configurations based on what you have. It is a blessing and a curse because sometimes you have everything perfectly set and you're like, oh wait, I want to put this one item on. And you end up spending an entire afternoon rearranging the entire thing.
Yeah, if you have OCD, you're going to love these.
Yes. And the super cool thing about Wall Control is that all the colors are customizable. So this back plate can be a different color and the hooks.
And there's tons of options for ways to store things. So as you look, this is a 90-degree bent hook. There's short hooks, long hooks. There's different shelves. It's actually made for originally for workshops and stuff. So things to hold hammers, but we hold all kinds of stuff on here.
Hey, we have a body workshop.
What?
Because you're working out, you're building your body.
Oh, wow.
I was really good and he missed it.
Wow, let's move on from that joke. But why I like Wall Control is you could get other metal pegboard. They have, this is specific. These attachments, these hooks right here, these different options are specific to Wall Control, but this is just a cheap basket. I searched on Amazon. I didn't search cheap Amazon basket, but
You did.
I just looked up a pegboard metal basket and it fits just like that. So they're using their own system, but it also, if you have other stuff, works within that. It's also made in the US and we might have a coupon code, but it changes every 2 months, so I never remember it. So look on our website.
But thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And please use those affiliate links if you see anything you're interested in
So
today.
I can buy more stuff.
And find new storage solutions for it.
Thanks
See
for
you
watching.
next time. Bye.